Today I'd like to review the Airbender Pro keyboard case combination. To do that, we're going to actually open up the keyboard and install an iPad Air. Now keep in mind that this is the Airbender Pro. It is not the Airbender 1.0 or 2.0. This is the one with the rubberized coating. The protection that one might need if they spill water or want to keep dust off their iPad, etc. Now, the iPad Air is the only tablet that will fit in the Airbender Pro. And this is made by new Trent. Amazon has it for $80 or $79.95. It comes in black, and as you can see, it has a built-in screen protector. It has a pivoting back that is 360-degree rotation. One of the other nice features, it does have this built-in lip for the actual case to rest against. Now if we flip it over, there is a little lever on the back right here, and I hope you can see that. My fingers press it to extend the back, which will allow you to change your angles. Also, it is completely removable. Depress those two spots right there, like this. And the iPad is now in your hands. You're able to use it like you normally would. Just briefly, here's your home button, which it will depress your home button on your iPad. You have your camera slot over here. You have your peripherals covered in a rubber grommet. You have your power-ups, or your volume up and down. And you have your power on and off over here. And charger over here. There is a grill on each for each speaker right there. Well made, very, very rugged. Now, a couple things about the keyboard before we actually do the installation. Once paired, the keyboard works just fine. You don't have any issues of having to repair it or anything like that. It does stay paired. It will put your iPad Air into a sleep or wake mode by opening and closing. You do have all the features of a normal keyboard. You have your optional buttons at the top for volume up, volume down, lock, and so on. You have an on and an off and a connect. Over here you can see you have cap locks, you have charge indicator, and Bluetooth. And right here, this little tab at the bottom, if you can see that, that actually, when you have your cover on, like so, it locks it so that your iPad keyboard combination are locked together. Now, a couple of things I like about the Airbender Pro. I like the rubberized coating. I think it's fantastic. It gives you a lot of shock resistance, so you're not going to damage your iPad if this were to slip out of your hands. Speaking of slipping out of your hands with the rubberized coating, when you grab a hold of this, you do know it's in your hand and you feel it. It's nice and tight. It doesn't feel slippery at all. I like the keyboard configuration. I like the quick disconnect. One of the things regarding the quick disconnect that I don't really like is once the iPad is actually installed, it moves rather easily under the weight of the iPad and the case. So you will want to use the ridge here to rest it against to keep it from moving. But other than that, that's not a big negative at all. One of the other negatives is there's a tendency to want to pull here to open when you're lifting on the top to open it. You're grabbing your fingers underneath and you're wanting to use this as leverage to pull against. If you do that, it will disconnect. I don't know if you can see that. It didn't take much of an effort on my part. The rubber pulled away. It goes back in rather easily, but it also comes out rather easily. So it's something to keep in mind. Well, it usually goes back in real easy. Today it wants to be a little challenging, but there you go. Now, a couple of the things I don't like about it, and then we'll move on. This combination, not including your iPad, is 1.55 pounds. That's a little over 1.5 pounds. Now, an iPad weighs 1.05 pounds. So when you put your iPad in the case, you're at 2.6 pounds. That's a pretty heavy tablet. That's 2.5, slightly more than 2.5 pounds. So something I really don't like. I don't like the added weight. However, if you're like me, you want something rugged, you want something that fits really nice, and so I assure you that when you put your iPad in here, it'll fit really nice. Before we actually install the iPad, I want to point a couple of things out. This protector rests against the screen of your iPad. If you don't clean the inside of the screen protector and the screen itself, you're going to get trapped in there a few blemishes. And I think it's something that you should know about. So do make sure that you do clean the inside of the sheet protector before installing it. Now, to install your iPad, you're going to need to remove the rubber. Now, the rubber sits like this, and it's not the most convenient thing, but you're going to want to release that all the way around the perimeter, like so. Now, I'm trying to do this quickly. You're probably going to find that a little more challenging because I've done it a few times. So you're going to want to remove the rubber backing. There you go, there's your rubber backing. Now we're left with a shell, a plastic shell, and the screen protector. Now, on the back of the plastic shell, there is a plastic protector here to prevent debris from entering into the cavity. That is not this protector. So there are two protectors. I don't know if you can see, my fingers are not touching one another. Okay? Next thing you want to notice is that on the back here, you're going to see arrows pointing up, and they're going to go all the way around the perimeter of this protective shell. You're going to see small tabs everywhere those arrows are. You're going to want to pry those open. It is not going to be particularly easy. You're going to want to stick a fingernail in there, and I don't have much in the way of fingernails. So you're going to have to forgive me as I attempt that. And once you get it free there, you're going to need to work your way around until, voila, you are free. Now, to properly install your tablet, make sure that your camera, which is here, sits here, like so. Now, your hole for your home button is this slot here. Make sure those line up. Slide one end on and begin snapping your way around. Make sure you get each one snapped correctly. And this is what you'll end up with. Now, I didn't clean that, so my bad, but it's for the sake of showing you. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install the rubber backing. Again, observing where the hole is for the camera, you're going to begin to work your way around. Now, I found that the easiest way is to start at the base here in this corner and try not to do this piece here where the tab is. That's actually the most difficult part, and I found that if you can get everything else on, that part goes a whole lot easier. There you go. Now, you can see I've got it in the groove all the way around here, all but here. We want to snap that in. Then we want to press our home button in, like so, and we are installed. Your home button goes on that side. So we now want to attach, by pressing the two buttons, the tablet to the keyboard. And there we go. That is you can see right now how it's moving a little bit. It wants to, the weight of the tablet wants to pull back. So you do need to release the back bar. It's kind of hard to do in this position, but and get that to rest down in there so that you can actually use that rest to act as a protection, if you would, a way of keeping it from shimmying, as we've seen in some other videos. So we are installed, we're ready to go, and we're going to turn on our tablet. I guess it doesn't matter if you know my code, huh? We're going to get out of there, and we are going to go to notes. Let's get it connected here. Oh, that is one thing I need to stress. When you turn your unit on for the first time, it's not a simple press on and off like a normal on and off buttons. You have to hold it until you see the you'll see down here that the Bluetooth button illuminates, and that'll tell you that you just turned your tablet on. Now, as we're ready to go, we'll type away, and voila, works just fine. I did not have to pair it, worked perfect right from the get-go. Okay, now a couple things about the screen protector. I have noticed rainbowing. Now, I don't know if you know what I mean by rainbowing, but there tends to be a shadow in certain lights of rainbow colors smearing the screen. And if you keep it really, really clean, it'll be less, but it doesn't seem to ever be eliminated entirely. That is one of the cons with this particular tablet case / keyboard. Other than that, there aren't very many cons. The loose, let me get that in there. I should have mentioned that. You do need to push all your port covers, okay, here and back here in place after or during the installation of the back. Okay, there we go. All right, so the looseness of the pivoting point when you put your tablet on, that's what I was referring to when I was saying you need to make sure that it rests on this raised portion. That's one of the cons. When you connect this, getting it off is super easy. Just depress it. But lining it up, I found to be a little more challenging. And maybe it's just me, but I do find it to be a little more challenging. But nothing that is of any real consequence or should discourage a person from buying this keyboard, because it is a very rugged keyboard combination. So it can be a little difficult to reattach. The first time you put your tablet in the case, like we did just briefly, that can be very challenging. It can be really challenging even when you've done it a few times as I have. The rainbowing of the screen protector, those are all cons, not serious ones. One of the ones that I would consider a little more serious is how hard you have to press the home button once the tablet case is installed. I have found that you really got to press down hard there. It's the only real negative I have with this, other than its weight, which of course, as I said already, with your iPad Air installed, it's 2.6 pounds. The screen protector does reduce the sensitivity to a small degree, but nothing serious. Now, what are the pros? Well, we talked already about how rugged it is, and it is rugged. I'll assure you that when you put this puppy down and you set that down and you slide her in and you're ready for it to go to sleep and you lock that dude in there, it is well protected. It's well made. This is a rugged case. It's not going to fall apart on you. You're going to pay a little more, $80 for it, but you're going to be grateful you did. If you are a little clumsy, if you have children around, if you I have a son, he had a Lenovo tablet, not tablet, I'm sorry, a laptop. It was a $2,000 laptop, and one of his children poured water on it while they were driving and ruined it. If you pour a little water on here, I assure you, you're not going to ruin your tablet. You shouldn't ruin your tablet. It's not that it's not possible, but it's unlikely. Now, other benefits. The charge time is very, very short. It's a 4-hour charge time. The charge life, once you've charged this for the first time, you should get about 3 months of occasional use out of it before you need to recharge it. That's pretty good. When I charged this for the first time, it was partially charged, and it only took what? It took, I want to say it took maybe an hour and a half to fully charge it, and I've been using it ever since. Now, some of the other benefits of the tablet is it operates as it should. It's made well. It's not cheaply made. Everything about it is rugged, and the sleep mode, the awake mode, the pairing, all of that operates just as it should. One of the interesting things or tidbits of information is if you were to disconnect your tablet and you were to walk 33 feet away, you could still use your keyboard. I don't know about you, I don't think that I'm going to be 33 feet from my tablet while using my keyboard. I don't envision doing that. You probably will never do that either, but it is possible. The range of the Bluetooth and the keyboard is 33 feet. Fantastic range. Maybe not the most practical, but it is available. I mean, it does work. I do like this this case keyboard combination. I find it rugged. I find it heavy. But I think that if you're going to invest in something, you want to protect your investment. The $80 that you spend, like I said, that's available on Amazon right now. The $80 that you spend on the Airbender Pro would be well worth it. There's not many cases that are as rugged as the Airbender Pro. And again, we are not talking about the Airbender 1.0 or the Airbender 2.0. We are talking about the Airbender Pro. And again, before I leave you, it is for the iPad 5 or Air. It is not for the 4, 3, 2, and so on. It will only fit and work with the iPad Air. This is the Airbender Pro by Trent. It is, again, $80 on Amazon. Thank you very much.